Good morning and welcome to the RG Limited Boardroom. Today let's discuss about why most of the Tanzanian lawyers fall behind. The reason judges often seem more seasoned than the lawyers appearing before them is that they rely on specific authoritative statutory rulebooks and binding precedents from higher courts to correct procedural errors. Based on the sources, here are the primary rules and procedures used by the High Court and Court of Appeal, along with where you can find them. The first one is the primary rule books for procedure. Judges derive their procedural authority from several key acts of Parliament, which are consolidated in the revised edition (RE) of the laws of Tanzania. The first one is the Civil Procedure Code (CPC), Chapter 33. This is the foundational manual for civil litigation in the High Court and lower courts. Specifically, judges often invoke Section 95 of the CPC, which grants the court inherent powers to make such orders as may be necessary for the ends of justice or to prevent abuse of the process of the court. Another one is the Probate and Administration of Estates Act, Chapter 352. In inheritance matters, this act provides the exact roadmap for handling estates. For example, Section 46 is the specific rule used when a sole executor dies before finishing their work, detailing how letters of administration for the unadministered portion of the estate should be granted. The Administrator General's Act, Chapter 27. This governs when a government official can step in to manage an estate. Judges look at Section 6, formerly Section 5, to determine if the legal criteria for such an appointment have been met. The Court of Appeal rules. This govern the procedures for the highest court, including the overriding objective principle, which allows judges to prioritize substantive justice over mere slips or technical errors in paperwork, as seen in the Mengi and Oilcom cases discussed in our podcast history. The second, where judges get the clever quotes or precedents. When a judge uses a clever or definitive line, they are often quoting binding precedents from the Court of Appeal of Tanzania. In the legal system, the lower court, like the High Court, must follow the interpretations of the law established by the higher court. For instance, in the Magama and Maikinda case, the judge relied on Civil Appeal number 160 of 2020 from the Court of Appeal to rule that a widow cannot challenge a will years after the fact if she stayed silent when it was first read. Third, where to access these sources. You can find these rules, statutes, and previous judgments through the following official channels. The Office of the Solicitor General e-Library. The Office of the Solicitor General maintains an electronic library where many Tanzanian rulings and statutes are uploaded for public and legal access. Another one is Revised Edition RE volumes. These are physical or digital sets of the consolidated laws of Tanzania. You will notice the sources frequently cite RE 2019 or RE 2023, referring to the most recently updated versions of the law. The next is Tanzania Law Reports, TLR. These volumes contain the landmark decisions of the High Court and Court of Appeal that establish the ultimate rules lawyers and judges must follow. Judiciary of Tanzania website often hosts recent judgment of the day entries and practice notes used by the Chief Justice. My final take: why lawyers fall behind. As seen in the Mhagama case, lawyers are sometimes deemed, quote, incompetent because they invoke the wrong law for the situation. In that case, the lawyer tried to use the Administrator General's Act and the CPC, but the judge pointed out that they, quote, ought to move the court using the specific procedures in Section 46 of the Probate and Administration of Estates Act instead. Judges know these rules better because their primary role is to ensure the, quote, standard of competence of the application matches the specific statutory requirements before even they look at the merits of the case. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have something to do right now, and I'll see you next time.